Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. Gold and silver spike over Ukraine invasion fears, and what could lie in the wake of such an event? Let's explore! Yes, indeed. Most people expect that this is going to happen soon. In fact, we now have a day that is going to happen according to the president of Ukraine. We'll talk a little bit about that, but let's take a look at the prices briefly here. Gold is spiking up a bit here, almost 0.75 of a percentage point to over $13.30 an ounce here to 1873. And we're getting closer and closer to that $1,900 level that I had predicted. We may get there sooner rather than later. Still a ways to go for silver, as it is up almost 30 cents, but over 1 percentage point, $23.94. We may see $24 silver soon. Platinum is up marginally, almost a 0.5 percentage point up, $5. But look at palladium. It is the winner of the day, because it is up over 2%, almost a $50 increase to $24.54. Rhodium we can ignore. For some reason, Kitco is showing this change of 7%, but that was last Friday. So there's been no movement in the rhodium markets over the last day here. So let's see what's going on here. We've got this happening here, a gold price jump $32. It is now pulled back and scaled back a little bit here since then, but there is tensions that are escalating here. Now that little bit of a pullback up $13 as opposed to 32 tells us something here, that it's very volatile times. A Ukrainian president says that February 16th will be the day of the attack. The gold market continues to benefit from its safe haven appeal as Russia-Ukraine tensions escalate, according to Anna Golubova from Kitco News. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Monday that he was told February 16th is the day of the planned Russian attack. We have been told that February 16th will be the day of the attack, but we will make it the day of unity, Zelensky said in a video address. Ukraine's leader also called on politicians and business leaders who had fled the country to return within 24 hours in a show of unity. It is your direct duty in such a situation to be with us, with the Ukrainian people. I suggest that you return to your homeland within 24 hours and stand shoulder to shoulder with the Ukrainian army, our diplomacy, and our people, Zelensky said. On Monday, the U.S. announced that it is closing its embassy in the country's capital, Kyiv, with temporarily relocating its operations to Lviv, a city in western Ukraine near the Polish border. In response, the U.S. stock indexes fell while gold prices tested the $1,870 an ounce level. And again, as I record this video, they are $1,873 now. But nonetheless, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 0.62% during afternoon trading. The S&P fell 0.6%. The NASDAQ Composite edged down. So there's where things are now. The Russian-Ukrainian conflict is what will drive gold prices this week, with the market looking to make more gains in case of further escalation, according to analysts. You know, you would think this would be kind of baked in. I mean, you got 130,000 troops, all that equipment. It's pretty much a foregone conclusion. You could pretty much bet your dollar that it's going to happen. When? Who knows? Putin could probably fake us out and maybe next week. And just to get things going, or just to play with the world, because he's kind of pretty much not afraid of doing it. There's really no recourse. Yes, we'll do sanctions. We'll do all we can there. We've got some troops headed that way, but we're not going to be using them. We've already said that we're not going to be using them. The upswing is attributable to a warning from U.S. intelligence services that a Russian invasion of Ukraine is imminent. Consequently, gold was in a considerable demand as a safe haven. This need for safety of investors was also evident in the ETFs. Bloomberg reports that Friday saw inflows of nearly 6 tons, said Commerce Bank analyst Daniel Breezeman. If the situation there does indeed escalate, the gold price is initially likely to climb further. The geopolitical tensions could take the gold market all the way up to $1,900, said Oenda senior market analyst Edward Moya. The 1880 level should prove to be a key resistance for gold. Bullish momentum could take prices to this $1,900 level. Fears of a possible Russian invasion of Ukraine were renewed on Friday when the U.S. said that Russia could launch military action in Ukraine any day. They're positioned to make it happen. Russia has continuously denied reports that it is planning to attack Ukraine, which is kind of hilarious because why would they spend all that money and resources? Remember, Russia has the economy the size of Italy. And so they're spending a lot of time, money, and resources to move all those troops there if they weren't planning on attacking. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov accused the West of hysteria. Well, I tell you what, it's not hysteria when you have troops in from 3 different fronts, from the Belarus front, Russian territory, and then also down in Crimea. The hysteria is being intentionally whipped up, Peskov said on Sunday. Well, yes, it is, and it's being whipped up by Russia with their continuing movement of troops, exercises, and things indicating that it's going to happen. We're being accused of some sort of unusual military activity on our territory by those who brought in their troops from across the ocean. This is neither exactly logical nor exactly polite. That's kind of a hilarious statement. Another layer of uncertainty was introduced by St. Louis Federal Reserve President James Ballard on Monday, who said in a hawkish comment that he would support a faster rate hike timeline that would see a full percentage point increase by the 1st of July. Now, that's interesting. Wow. So we know there's a meeting coming in March where they will 83% chance that they may raise it a half a point, and maybe by July they'll do another half point, and that'll be a full percentage point. It was really October, November, December, January that called into question any idea this inflation was naturally going to moderate in any reasonable time frame without the Fed taking action, said Bullard. The big item on the agenda this week is the January FOMC meeting minutes. Markets will be looking for clues in terms of how aggressive the U.S. Central Bank could allow itself to be. The minutes will help to clarify whether officials would consider a 50 basis points hike, said Capital Economics North America economist Paul Ashworth. Now, I posted a video this morning about breaking news about a secret emergency meeting that the Fed was going to have, and how it was much ado about nothing, at least much ado about nothing with regards to rate hikes. We've not heard any details about that meeting, but my guess is, based off of prior meetings, it's not going to happen based off the language that was on there that was misinterpreted by other news agencies and YouTube channels. I do like to be realistic and not jump the gun on things like that, such as we saw, and I posted this on another video from another subject. But again, some of these media agencies have got to really do their homework with this stuff, because confirmation bias can come back and bite us in the rear end if we're not careful. This is why I like to keep a balanced view on the precious metals. And this is another thing we talk about here, the geopolitical tensions and inflation. Jim Wyckoff talking about this, posting good gains in midday U.S. trading Monday with gold notching a nearly 3-month high. And with this kind of volatility, because of what's happening in Russia, depends on the scale of the attack and how that'll play itself out. Some people think that oil is going to rise dramatically, which could affect gold prices, I believe. We don't talk about it as much, but it used to be talked about a lot more on how oil and gold can be somewhat tied together. And though not directly correlated, but we know that mostly gold is traded in U.S. dollars, and obviously with inflation happening and with other factors that are going on with the supply chain, that oil is going to go up and the dollar is going to go down. Inflation will be with us, and it's going to cause a lot more issues there. And I think that's going to affect gold's price to the positive territory even more so. See how it plays out. But there's your news here for this afternoon. Interesting indeed. We'll see what happens in a couple of days. If it occurs then, I don't know. Apparently that's what Zelensky is saying. And by the way, Zelensky in Ukraine has been saying that the West is fear-mongering too, and that, there is no imminent invasion. And I was kind of puzzled by that statement. But nonetheless, there it is. Fascinating indeed. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.